focus on it and call it steampunk. That's the trendy fashion nowadays. A copper-painted chunk of some 1980s junk will fetch a pretty penny on eBay.
This show is all about our passion for creating, inspiring others, and figuring out creative ways for our passions to help other people. It's no longer a hobby, and it's more than a passion. It's a way of life. When we started just 8 years ago, it was all about having fun. Then, that fun grew into a bit of an obsession. We started building larger props, massive costumes, and even vehicles. We fell in love with steampunk and cosplay, and Hatton Cross Steampunk has become a worldwide presence. My name is Dave Lee. We are Hatton Cross Steampunk, and this is HCS Creates. In this episode, we're going to get aggressive with our builds and our timeline. We're going to build a steampunk vehicle for the Wild Westcon in Tucson, Arizona, and we're going to build a werewolf costume for Marscon in Williamsburg, Virginia. With 6 days to go, let's get started. So rather than fabricate a vehicle from scratch, what we're going to do is we're going to start with a donor vehicle. We're going to start with a riding lawnmower that I got from Stephen Chapman, and we're going to slice and dice and make our steampunk roadster from that.
Yeah, since we're going for that roadster look, we're going to stretch the frame out, take the tiny wheels off, and replace them with dirt bike wheels.
We're going to build out the body of the car to give it a pre-1920s look with a boat tail rear end.
And after all of that, we're going to have some real fun. We'll be adding twin giant Gatling guns to this vehicle.
We will?
Absolutely.
Why?
Well, you always say anything worth doing is worth overdoing.
We have a lot to do. Let's get started.
So our trusty robot Rusty has been working hard in the wood shop and fabricated this piece right here. This is the platform base that the body is actually being attached to, and it is attaching to the lifts, the 2x4 lifts that we've got on the frame. So we're going to go ahead and put that in now and get started working on the body. Lined up. Jessica.
Where do you want your screws?
They're loose. Here, go ahead and put these in here. Yep.
There you go.
Okay.
Got it.
Next one. Hold it. So we got the donor vehicle up on the stand. My brother-in-law Dave Hoffman was awesome, did a great job on slicing the frame up and extending it about 10 inches using steel tubular frame to reinforce and give us a nice long roadster look.
And here you see the dirt bike wheels that we got from an online site to help out keep costs down, and we think it really gives it a nice retro pre-1920s look.
We've already started building out the frame, so the next step will be to cover it in galvanized steel to make it look like a real roadster. Hi, my name's Jessica Lee.
I'm Jordan Gonzalez.
I'm Joseph Lee. My brother is David Lee.
I am an author for HCS Publishing, and on the side I do a little bit of detail painting and general costuming.
I'm a musician. I'm the newest member of Hatton Cross Steampunk, and whenever we have a project going, I help out wherever is needed.
8 years ago, he had these crazy ideas of steampunk, and I'd never heard of it before, and the more he talked about it, he was just 100% gung-ho about it, and it just kind of got me excited about it and exploring what this stuff really is and what it's about.
To me, steampunk is what the people of the Victorian era thought science fiction was going to be like. So it's a lot of futurism within the 1800s and basically what they thought technology was going to be like.
I love history more than anything in the world, even alternate history. With steampunk, I get to go to conventions and really express myself and see tons of other people that are also just really enjoy being there.
I guess after 8 years, I still don't quite know how to define it really. To me, it's just like an escape. It's to embrace like your inner creative side and create something that's, you know, unique to you, but involves like this whole like Victorian era look. And you know, I personally love the sci-fi side of it, you know, creating something that has already been done, but turning it into something steampunk. And that's really exciting to me.
One thing that I really like about steampunk is that it's very empowering for a lot of women because you can be dressed in this big fabulous gown, but you can still have a gun on your hip.
I think steampunk really is, as cheesy as it sounds, it's a way of life for me. It's a philosophy because the fun parts of it tell you to build and make and learn how to do things and let your inner child out and have fun. And that's a great philosophy for life, you know? If people would follow that, then they would get more enjoyment out of life, more quality out of life. Those were the hex screws. There's, can you get the, yeah, this piece is right here. So it's this. So basically we made a little block here to brace the steering column, so we don't want it to wobble around. We want it nice and supported so that when we actually are driving it, we can steer and not crash. So. Here. Let's go. Venezia Tomascros. You want to put those in? Sure.
Then right here, we have the gear shift. Without this little piece right here to brace it, it would wobble out and be completely off the chassis of the build. So we need to get that screwed in there and make sure it's tight. Do these actually match up with anything?
How many HCS people does it take to do one person? To do Dad's job. This is a really weird feeling. Are we out of screws?
These are the little ones.
I guess these are just extra ones from before.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need bigger ones?
So we're not all, we here at Winged Industries, we do very sophisticated, accurate measuring. You're going to see the distance between the wheels and the frame needs to be the same. Look at that. Winged Industries, ladies and gentlemen. Precision creations. We're super fortunate to have Rusty the Robot making a lot of our carpentry items, as none of us are actually carpenters.
All right, so our brother-in-law David Hoffman did some really amazing work here with some bushings to overcome the different diameters with the axle and wheel.
So the back wheel, turning a front wheel, motorcycle wheel, into a rear drive wheel, where the wheel is used to spinning on an axle, actually required a cutout of the existing lawnmower wheel to be welded and bolted to the motorcycle wheel so that we could have it, the axle, turn it and not break or come apart. So we framed out with flanges and supports here, the back end, the
Boat tail rear end.
yes, thank you, the bow tail rear end, and that is now going to get clad with cleats. While the team continues to work on the chassis, working on cladding out the front end and the back end of the roadster, we're going to go ahead and start on the werewolf build for Marscon. And the werewolf costume itself is being built by Mike Brody, but we're going to work on the armor for it and then mechanical arm. And what we're going to use is EVA foam floor mats. And these are fantastic. All of our armor is built out of this stuff. And let's get started.
a pretty penny on eBay.